everyone, my name is Ryan Banks and today I have a very different style of video for you. I will be telling you my top 3 performance stocks in 2022. So I was on the fence of making this type of video just because I haven't made one of these before, but in my previous video I tell you to put money on the side to put towards investments or do your research before doing anything, and today that's exactly what I'm doing with my own stocks. I will be sharing with you my thought process before buying a stock. And just for you to know is this video is for information purposes only and for you to learn exactly how I invest into my own stocks that I buy. Now for the first stock I'll be covering with you today, and it's the third best stock performance in 2022 for me, is Alimentation Couche-Tard, or ticker ATD.TO. So this company is a global brand who's best known for its convenience stores and gas stations. And one of the biggest brands that you may know them for is Circle K. So I heard about this stock back, I would say a year and a half ago, from a YouTuber who does investment videos. And what really intrigued me is that he was saying that it's a indirect way to put your money into the EV space, or electrical vehicle space. And the reason why I say that is more and more gas stations now are putting charging stations for those electrical vehicles. Also, I did do my research, and I do find that it's also a recession-proof stock. And the reason why I say that is because even if we get into a recession, people will still go buy gas, and if people go buy gas, they go buy candies or cigarettes or that type of stuff. And when doing my research, looking at the past 2 recessions that we've had, they've still had revenue growth during those hard times. So this is definitely a good stock for my portfolio that I put in. To go into a little bit more detail, this stock has a lower dividend yield, so a dividend that pays every quarter, but the dividend growth, meaning the dividend amount per share, increases more over time. So in my portfolio, I like to have a balance between high growth dividend stocks, meaning they increase your dividend significantly, and also high dividend yields, which you'll see in the next stock. Now when I dove into a little bit more into the financials when I did my research, I looked at things like their EPS, so earnings per share. So how much net income do they get for each share that people have bought, I guess, their shares publicly. The other thing too is look at how much debt they have compared to their assets to see if they can actually repay their debt. And the other thing too that I looked at is the revenue growth over time. So revenue growth, yes, I know doesn't turn into profit all the time, but revenue growth is good because that means that the company is moving direction and increasing their sales, meaning more potential dividends for investors like me. Now, the reason why this stock, ATD, is my third best stock is because I bought this back in January 2022 and I bought it at just under $52 a share. And right now it's trading around the 62 range. So I made a good 15-20 unrealized gain there if I sold the stock today. And I also do get just around a 1% annual dividend that gets split every quarter. So I am very happy about this stock, and I just recently bought more of ATD shares. Before I start going into the second stock, I just want to let you know that I use Wealthsimple to invest into my own stocks. And the reason why I use the software is because I find it very user-friendly, and I also do get an instant deposit where I don't need to wait 2-3 days until the money is deposited into the app. So if Wealthsimple is potentially something you want to start getting into, I do have a referral code in the description of this video where it will give you a startup deposit bonus and also help me out for a small amount as well. Now the second stock I'll be telling you about today is Enbridge, or ticker ENB.TO. And this company is a natural gas provider. And what I really like about this company is that it's a safer stock because people in Canada still need to heat their homes. And natural gas isn't going anywhere because we as Canadians still get cold winters. So I bought this stock back in end of 2021. And I bought this stock where there was a little bit of a dip right before those cold winter months where the revenue growth would be a lot higher because people need to heat their homes a lot more during the winter. So Enbridge is a stock with a high dividend yield, meaning it pays a higher dividend compared to ATD at 6.7%, but the growth is a lot lower. So that's where I was telling you about that. I wanted that nice diversification between a high dividend yield and high growth dividends. So what I really like about this stock is with that big payout, I'm able to reinvest into other stocks or more stocks into Enbridge. So that's why that balanced portfolio is really good for me, and because I bought this stock, I guess, when COVID kind of first started, I guess we'll say, this was definitely a safer stock at the time because people still need to heat their homes, even though the pandemic has started or was going on. Now for stock performance. I bought this stock at around $48 a share, and now it's trading around $54. So I did get an unrealized profit of 12 to 13%. But with that high dividend yield that I get, that's actual cash in my hands, which brings it right into the territory of ATD. But because I get the cash right away, I use that cash to invest into other dividend stocks, meaning I get to build my portfolio of dividend stocks a lot quicker that way. Now, before I get into my best performance stock, I want you to know about Blossom, which is an app that is essentially like a Facebook for investments. So I just got into this app a couple weeks ago, and this app is really good because it will show my investment portfolio percentages of what stocks that I'm invested in. And what I really like about it is that other beginner investors kind of share every time that they buy a stock, the reasoning behind that, why they bought those stocks. So you can see this screenshot right here for an example of one of the posts that I just did. So I find this app really useful, and I also get to learn about potential new stocks I want to put on my watch list based off of other different people's opinions, which is one of the things that I said. When you do your research for investments, make sure that you get different pools of information so that you can make a good concrete decision yourself. Now for my best performance stock in 2022, it's Vermilion Energy, ticker VET.TO. So I first heard about this stock from my father-in-law, where this stock was paying a dividend before COVID, and when COVID started, they stopped paying that dividend. So because of this, their stock plummeted over 90%. So this gave me a buying opportunity because there were talks about Vermilion reinstating that dividend. So I bought this stock at around $8.75 a share, and right now it's hovering between $19, $20, and it went to as high as $38 in 2022. So this was a really good, I would say, one-off stock because I just took a quick risky opportunity, and it did end up paying off for me. Yes, I did sell a little bit of it and then rebought into it just to get a little bit of profit and reinvested those profits into that same company. But the one thing I want you to learn about this is make sure that you look at a dividend history of any company that you want to invest into, because if they stop paying a dividend, it's very less attractive for investors to invest into that company because they don't get that return right away unless the stock price goes up. So yes, this was my best performance stock in 2022, but always be careful because not every investment is as good as it seems. Yes, I did get lucky this time, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to get lucky every single time. Now to quickly summarize, my number one stock was Vermilion Energy, number two was Enbridge, and number three was Alimentation Couche-Tard. So I hope that you found this video very informative and you learned a thing or two on how I kind of do some research of my stocks that I want to potentially buy and put on my watch list. So I know that this was a different style of video because I haven't really posted an individual investment video before. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up so I know that you like this type of content, and I'll potentially send out more of these contents in the future. So before I let you go, I just want to thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.